it is your human Thork, and welcome back to our 1.19 world. This is actually the first time in about a year that I can't say hello everyone, welcome back to our 1.19 Minecraft survival series or world or whatever, because this is the world tour. The series has wrapped up. If you missed it, which I'm willing to bet there's a good chance that you did because there was a long gap in between, I just posted the last episode of our 1.19 world and it's really cool. It's kind of bittersweet, but I am so glad to be like wrapping this up and moving on to 1.20. I am so excited, and it looks like a ton of you guys are as well. So even though there was that whole grand finale with a live premiere and all that stuff, I still wanted to do a world tour because I've never been able to do one before, and I think they're kind of cool when YouTubers do them, so I want to do it, you know? And in an effort to keep it not hours long, because if I just ramble on and on and on, I will go on for like hours because this world means so much and I could ramble about it for ever, technically. I am going to do this in a time-lapse format. After I posted that last episode, I have been recording a ton of footage. I think that we can all agree that I tend to get distracted, so I think time-lapses are a pretty good solution. They're a nice middle ground. I don't really know how long this video is going to be. It very well may just be a couple minutes, it might be 10 minutes, who knows? And I don't really think that you guys want to sit through like hours of me rambling either, so it's probably best that it gets kept short. Just right now though, in the present, you guys have made this so worth it, and it's not like I wouldn't be recording and posting videos if I didn't have an audience, but like having so many of you here, that's really special. So, I guess we should probably sleep, huh? Sleep? One last sleep in this 1.19 survival series world? Huh? Sleep? Sleep, please? I mean, I don't want to rush it. Well, there's the lighting. So, without further ado, future Thork, you know what to do. Yes, I do. I have already shared how much this 1.19 world means to me, and that's no secret. So, in an effort to not become a broken record, I'll keep most of this recap about the builds themselves, and I'll go into my thought process and talk a little bit about how this series came to be in the first place. I think that's warranted. Quick disclaimer, the footage that you're going to see paired up with this commentary isn't going to be accurate to what I'm talking about, but it will be there to look at in the background. I think that's fair. I honestly can't be asked to sift through each and every single one of my videos uploaded to create a compilation and all that kind of stuff. Maybe one day, but that day is not today. For now, let's just continue. Flashback to day 1, Spawn Tree, the original one, not the mega build that now casts the entire area in shadow, but the OG tree, if you will. I looked around after I spawned in, and there was every single wood type that I could possibly need around me, except spruce, which I later found out I was mistaken, there was that too. There was a pretty lake that is still there, and I decided to just settle down around it and call that a day. And, of course, you can't forget this huge, luscious mangrove biome that we spawned quite literally right on top of. I was so excited and blown away that we got that spawn. Go back and see it if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend it because at the time, 1.19 was kind of new for me. It was kind of half new for basically the rest of the Minecraft community. I got on it a little bit late, but I'm so glad I started because this spawn, I could not be happier. And so the series began, and I had no idea what I was doing at first. All that I knew is that I wanted to relax. I started this channel by telling myself that this could be a chill zone. You know, I wasn't going to try to blow up or create the Mr. Beast style content. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to just be me. And I didn't care if anybody else watched. I didn't care if it went anywhere, to be honest. I was expecting maybe like 20 views max on that first video that I posted, and maybe a comment if I was lucky. But clearly the algorithm had a different plan in mind for my channel that day, because it didn't stick to just 20 views. You know, I had that expectation of 20 views and it was quickly shattered. I watched that 20 jump up to 200, and that 200 jump up to 2000, and that 2000 jump, and it just kept going and going and going, and now still to this day, that first video is the most viewed video consistently on my channel. That's where the most views come from. So just thank you so much. I cannot put into words how much that amount of support and community matters to me. It's just unreal. It's just unreal, and I have to leave it at that. Otherwise, I will ramble this entire video away. So, yeah, let's move on. Up next, all of the different builds in this world. I really want to touch on these because, like, there's such a variety of structures, and they all have a different origin story. They all have different lore, if you will. Some of them were just random off the top of my head. I need something to put in the episode. But other times, they were suggestions from you, from all of you guys in the comments saying, oh, you should build this, oh, you should build that. And I mean, I was legitimately asking, like, hey, what should I build in the next episode sometimes? But, like, you guys came through and you guys delivered, because these suggestions were crazy. I think the lava farm that you saw earlier, I think that was almost completely one of you guys who suggested a lava farm. I don't even know if I had that as an option, because what I've done is like, oh, do you want this build, or this build? And then, you know, you guys pick one, and then I do that one in the next episode. But I think that one was like totally a comment that I ran with. I don't know. Regardless, I'm super happy with it. And now as we zoom into the Nether, we see that there's not much here, because there isn't much here. I basically completely ignored the Nether. I visited it once and then quickly just zipped back. I did not want to do much there, just because I normally don't do anything with the Nether. I don't build a Nether hub, I don't do portals and linking and fast travel and all that kind of stuff. I always left that to the professionals, alright? And you know, maybe one day, if I ever become a professional Minecraft YouTuber, I'll have to learn that skill, but until that happens, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe you guys can make me worry about it, but until then, I'm not going to touch it. And that kind of brings up another idea that was very prevalent in this world, is that I could have done a lot more. When I ended the series, I was quite torn. I didn't know if I wanted to stay in this world while the rest of the Minecraft community went into 1.20, or if I wanted to join 1.20 and have an entirely new adventure. And I opted for, you know, ending the series and starting a new adventure, but it was tough because I realized that I haven't gone to the end, I haven't seen a stronghold, I haven't done half of the farms that I wanted. I could do so many more builds in this world and be like half done with it, right? But I think it's important to stay engaged with, you know, what you're doing. If you're not gonna feel it, you're not gonna make it. And if you're not gonna make it, then what's the point? And if you're not gonna make it, you're clearly not enjoying something. So even though this world could be considered unfinished and unexplored by some people's standards, I'm not some people. I'm Thork, and I think this was a great end to the series. As incomplete and unpolished as it is at times, I think it is time for a new adventure. But what would that adventure look like? I have no idea. And I like it like that. I am almost completely winging it. Like, obviously, I know that I want to start another survival series. Maybe start another additional series? I don't know. I have a couple ideas for different types and formats of content. Still Minecraft, still only Minecraft, but I have a lot of different inspirations in the Minecraft space, and all of them have just been so motivating as of recently. I am the most motivated I have been in a long time when it comes to creating new content, you know, cooking up behind the scenes, and just trying to make more stuff, and it feels really, really, really good. Now, I think on to one of the last topics that I want to talk about, which is how I make the videos in the first place. I think that's a really important thing that a lot of creators just skip because they think that a lot of people won't be interested in their process and how they make the videos, what they use to make the videos, and what have you. But for me, how someone makes a video is fascinating. And so I briefly want to touch on that because I know for a fact that there are tons of other creators who make videos that watch my videos, and I'm sure would love to know how I approach making the stuff on screen. So let's do it, just a little bit of it, because truth be told, each and every single one of these topics that I'm about to mention deserve their own video, their own breakdown, their own ramblings. So this video, even in its 16 minute length, whatever it ends up being, won't be enough. So for now, let's just stick on the relative surface before we dive deeper. You know, nothing that a YouTube description couldn't answer, but I'll talk about it here as well, because why not? And I want to. Anyways, first up is video, and recording video and editing video. For recording video, and really recording audio as well, I use Streamlabs, or Streamlabs OBS, or OBS Streamlabs. One of the two, I don't remember what it is. Regardless, I use Streamlabs. It just kind of works for me. I can set up all my different channels and folders and whatnot and record all the different things, and it just works great. And I should also mention, because this is quickly sounding like a sponsorship or a promotion, it is neither of those things, alright? I am not sponsored by anybody at the moment. I would have to disclose that if I am. I am not. Now then, on to editing, also known as anything that isn't recording. So that is editing, cutting, sticking things together, exporting, coloring, the whole thing, rendering, what have you. To achieve all of these goals, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, before you come at me in the comments, I know it's Adobe, and I know it's not really that accessible, and I know it's Adobe, and I know it's expensive, and I know it's Adobe. I'm aware. It's just what I'm the most familiar with. You know, I've used it the most. I've tried other video editing programs, and it's just what I learned on. And so for that reason, that's what I use. But to be honest, there are tons of programs out there that do exactly what Adobe does, and sometimes even better. So it is not the end-all be-all. Next up, next topic if you will, is audio. How I record it, how I edit it, how I put music in my videos, how I do sound effects, and everything that you generally hear. And now, in a big flashing neon sign text if I had it, I would say all of this information is subject to change because I am upgrading my audio setup really soon. I have everything picked out, and I just need to actually order it, actually go through with it. But I am getting a huge upgrade to the audio end of the spectrum, and I cannot wait. But right now, the way I record my vocals is very destructive, you would say, in the editing world. There's no separate tracks for game audio and my voice, so they're all recorded together. So if the game is too loud, my voice is too loud, I can't shrink my voice in the mix. It's just one flat mono signal, which isn't the best, and that's probably not going to change for a while, but I have a decent quality mic. I am running through an interface. I don't have one of those gaming headsets with like the pull down mic. I actually do have like a microphone stand, a microphone in front of me with a pop filter, a audio interface going into the recording. That way I get the best audio quality that I can get. Now, I have been one to complain about my audio quality in the past with the pops and crackles and hissing and all that kind of stuff from a loose cable on my interface. But as much as I complain about it, it's really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. It's annoying, it can ruin a take, and I might have to re-record something or voice something over, but truly I am so grateful to even have this gear to begin with, or to be privileged enough to be in the position to use and have this gear, and to be upgrading this gear to a little bit more than beginner. So yeah, just that is really cool. And now, last but certainly not least, is the visuals. And I can take care of this really quickly. I don't need to spend that long on it. Photoshop. it's Adobe again. That pesky Adobe, always sneaking up, butting its head into every conversation. But it's what I use. I use it for thumbnails, I use it for the end card, and for any other graphics that you see on screen. And that's basically it. There are tons of other things that probably Photoshop way better than Photoshop does, but that's what I use. And now, you guys, I think we have finally reached the end of our Minecraft 1.19 Survival Series Let's Play World Tour recap. That is a mouthful, but sincerely, thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me. I truly appreciate every single one of you. And now, there's only one thing left that I want to do. You know what? I think it's time for a new start. Much love, you two.